We always have these hypotheticals of who are the best 11 in the field. Today we're doing a Barca versus Madrid best 11. Welcome to the recap. Eddie, how you doing today, man?
Chilling, bro. Good to be back.
We're doing a fan-friendly video where we're going to go Barca versus Madrid 11 versus 11. Who is the best player in each position? Let's start with the goalkeeper. Who do you got, Manny?
You know who I'm taking?
I think we all agree on this one. Courtois. Even if Ter Stegen was back healthy and Courtois was back healthy, I would take Courtois. I mean, the dude has been clutch. He's a stopper, man. His feet are kind of weak, but overall, the way that he's been clutch for Madrid, especially in key games, is just over the top for me.
The Champions League final versus Liverpool. That's all you gotta say.
So the formation is going to be obviously a 4-4-3. 4-3-3, sorry. That's the one more extra player. We're not Madrid. We don't play with the fucking ref. I'm just playing. Right back. Who do we got for right back?
Is this like if everybody's healthy, or are we talking this season only?
Let's talk this season. Obviously, we would put Carvajal in there.
I'm taking Carvajal if I could, but
But
this
yeah,
season I think you have to go with Conde.
Really? Wow, this is where we're actually going to pick a player from each other's team. I'm actually going to go with Valverde.
You see, Valverde's got to be in the middle for me.
Because for me, Valverde doesn't have the tactical and the skills to be in the middle in front of a Barca player. So I would put Valverde in the right back. Koundé is fire, but Valverde could give you more.
I mean, I'm taking Valverde over Conde also, but I just didn't plan on having him at right back.
Yeah, I don't think Valverde gets in the mid, in Barca's mid. Don't get me wrong, I love Valverde. I think Valverde is one of the best players Madrid has, especially the fact that he's in the middle. He's a star, but he's not a superstar, but he works super hard. And
I
you can
hope
put him in any
he's.
position. You can put him in any position. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him as a striker and he score goals, but for me, Valverde would be great for the right back role.
I think he would be the best right back in the world if he was playing right back. But hopefully, my Madrid fans back me up in the comment section.
Back him up, but I think,
He's
you
a
know what?
top two
I think
midfielder in the
Barca
world.
fans would be like, nah, it's Koundé. Koundé over Valverde. But realistically, to me, Valverde, if you give Valverde and Koundé the same time, Valverde would do better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Okay, let's go with center mids. I mean, center backs.
Center backs. Who are you taking?
For my center backs, I'd go Indigo Martinez and Pau Cubarsí.
I'm going Rudiger and Pau Cubarsí.
Okay. So who's going to be the coach? We're going to go Flick?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay, so if you go Flick, I'm taking those two guys because they know the offside trap. They know how to operate it. To me, I think Barca is the second least scored team. Right after Atletico Madrid, the least scored team in the league. And I mean, all the offsides, the way that it changes other teams to play because of the high line, that's why I'm going with both of them. I like Rudiger, don't get me wrong. I wish we would have signed him for free. But he went to Madrid. But overall, I think Inigo Martinez's season is phenomenal, dude. Under Flick, he's just growing. And Pau Cubarsí, he's going to be a generational defender, in my opinion. And those are my two. Who are your two?
Rudiger and Cubarsí.
Okay, we agree on one, and you agree on Rudiger. I mean, give and go. I can swap. I can swap.
Yeah, it
But
could go either way. I
yeah,
could see it going either way.
left back. I think there's only one choice, right?
Balde's the best right back in the world right now.
Oh, you know what? I'm not too sure what else is out there, but I could agree. But yeah, I would pick Balde. I think Balde under Flick, he's a whole different animal, dude. Like, he's physically strong, but now we're seeing it. I think the only thing that lacks for Balde is the fact that he can't cross to save his life.
But you're asking him to not get beat. I think he's like the least beat left back in the world. He can score if he needs to, like if he really has like the option. And that speed is just incredible.
All right, so let's move on to the center, like the center back, not center back, the center mid, like a holding mid. Who do you got?
For me, it would have been Pedri and Valverde.
Okay, you would. Okay, see, and that's where I don't agree with you. To me, it'd be Pedri and Frankie De Jong, because Frankie De Jong this season, the way he's developing is the Frankie De Jong that we saw at Ajax. And once Frankie De Jong and and Pedri get the ball, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it, bro. I don't want to say it's Iniesta and Xavi, where Pedri being Iniesta and Frankie de Jong being Xavi, because I mean those two guys are freaking great. They know how to control a game, you know, in the back of their head. But to me, I think they're the best center mid duel. I mean, center mid duel right now.
I think there's levels to players, and I think Valverde is just a level above De Jong, if I'm being
In what
honest.
way? Not
Valverde,
skill wise, or I mean, not skill wise or tactical wise. Maybe physically, yeah. But like when I need a ball, when I need you to control the tempo, that's not Valverde.
that game against Man City, he's the one that sent Rodrigo all the way from the right back.
Brother, against Man City, who's been sucking the whole year. If you tell me last year's Man City, valid, bro, but this year's, and I'm not trying to downplay any games, that Madrid won against City, because at the end of the day, you have to win those games. But this City is horrible.
If I got like a 30, 40-yard free kick or long shot, I want Valverde behind it. And
I
then
agree on that.
that man's got three lungs. He does not get tired.
No, I agree. Trust me, I agree on that. If Frankie De Jong had his freaking lungs, it'd be over, bro. It'd be over. Or just like if Valverde had Frankie De Jong's skills, it'd be over, bro.
And that
But
man's shot power makes up for it.
he has great shot power. But how many goals has he scored?
Man, they're throwing him everywhere. You need a right wing, you need a center mid, you
You
need
know
a
what?
right
But
back.
it is, his cannon is sneaky though, because sometimes it deflects off players and it goes in.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think this season he had a free kick just like
Who are we thinking like a center attacking mid? I think we're both in agreement with here.
man, there's only one clear option.
Yeah.
My boy Jude.
The British Mon, the guy from Birmingham. Hey Jude. Yeah, I think Jude will be great. I mean, imagine if like obviously you want Valverde, but imagine Jude, Pedri, and like De Jong. It's just take the ball away, bro. How?
You give any team a
How?
player like Pedri and it's scary. He can set up so many things.
Dude, imagine Pedri and Jude playing together. It'd be nasty, dude.
They need
It'd
to
be
have all-star games.
nasty. Yeah, because I can see Jude. Obviously, Pedri will control the game, but Jude's be doing those runs where he's just very effective into the final third, and it's oh my gosh, it's like lights out and away we go, man. All right,
UEFA
so
needs to
we
make it
agree
happen.
with Jude. What happened?
UEFA needs to make it happen. Premier League All-Stars versus the La Liga All-Stars. Make it
That'd
happen.
be interesting. Obviously, they don't go ham, but it'd be interesting. Or make like a league World Cup or something where like the league gains like $100 million. Then they'd be like, oh shit, let's play. Yeah,
That'd be make a dream.
yeah. What about right wing? Who do we got?
This is a tough one for me because,
Really?
Yamal is like he's magic. He makes things happen. But there's a guy in Madrid that just scores when you need a win. He ain't even really a right wing, but he's adapted and turned into one of the best right wings in the world.
You
I'm
know what?
taking
I
I'm taking
love
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. I love Rodrigo. Okay, he's a great player. Honestly, to me, he's more complete than Vinny, but Vinny has a different type of spark, you know. But there is no way I'm taking Rodrigo over Lamine Yamal. Come on, bro. At 17, the way he cooks, the way he's cooked Madrid at 17, bro. He right here.
Maybe in 3 to
Bro.
4 years I'm taking Lamine, but at this time right now, I'm taking
3 to 4
Rodrigo.
years or 3 to 4 months, bro. All right, left wing. This one's gonna be interesting. Left wing. Who do we got?
I think it's easy, honestly.
Really? I think these are it's gonna be competitive, I think.
This year after the Ballon d'Or ceremony, Vinny just fell off, and Rafinha's on another level right now. Like, he's
Okay,
just
then we
scoring
agree.
for fun.
Yeah.
I'm taking Rafinha right now.
I'm taking Rafinha again. My man, you're gonna get crucified by all the Madrid fans. They're gonna be
Bro,
like, the dude with the 8 had no ball knowledge.
I think we all want more out of Vinny. That's the problem, is that we
I
know what he's
agree.
capable of.
Exactly. I agree. And I think if Vinny focused just playing, forget the crowd. Just play the game
Definitely.
that you're getting paid millions of dollars to do, you
He's
know?
the best left wing in the world. He's just not showing it this season.
I think, yeah, I think he is the best left wing. He has everything to be the best left wing, but he's just not showing it. And it could be that after the Ballon d'Or, where he lost it, his morals went down and he's like, I don't know what it goes through an athlete's, mind,
This
especially
may
a
be a
high,
hot take, but I think Mbappe, coming to form also had something to do with it. I feel like he's worried that it's turning into Mbappe's team and he's just
it is
doing too
Mbappe's team.
much.
It is Mbappe's team.
It should have been Vinny's, but Mbappe
Yeah.
he's taking over.
Yeah. It would have been Vinny's if Vinny didn't have that attitude.
Definitely.
Look, because it's a double-edged sword because Vinny's attitude makes him Vinny, but then Vinny's attitude makes him unlikable,
Yeah, I agree with you on
you
that.
know? And if he just stick to doing stuff on the field, bro, you know, the purest football fans, they'd be like, this guy, he's magic, you know? But you got people who are like, it's like, for example, like Jude. It's like Jude does great stuff. I fucking love Jude. Jude's like a great player, but then you have a player like Vinny is like, he does great stuff, but then you also do this other stuff where it's like, bro, it just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, if you could stop arguing with crowds, stop arguing with referees, you're not gonna get every single foul call. He does get a lot of missed calls, but like at some
Agree.
point you gotta get up and realize they're not gonna call it and just play hard.
Agree. Now, the striker. Do we give it to the Pichichi or do we give it to the Mbappe?
Hey, the league's not over. I mean, the season's not over yet, and Mbappe's right
Yeah,
there behind
as
him.
in right now. This is starting 11 as in right now. Do we give it to the Pichichi, like the 36-year-old Pichichi, or do we give it to the young 28-year-old, what is it, 26-year-old
26.
Kylian Mbappe?
I'm giving it to Mbappe because if you need to make something happen, get the ball to Mbappe and try to let him cook. Lewandowski, you've got to set him up. He's just gonna
Hmm.
finish. Mbappe, I feel
Agree.
he brings more to the table.
But with a team that already has possession of the ball, you have Jude, in my team, you have Jude, you have Pedri, and you have De Jong. All you need is a killer in the 18.
Imagine the long balls Pedri can set up for Mbappe. Just
I
send him on the
agree.
run.
I agree. I agree. It's like when Ferran, obviously I'm not saying Ferran's the caliber as Mbappe, but when Ferran plays instead of Lewandowski, it's a more fluid game in the way that they can do more long balls because of Ferran's speed.
Yeah, it's more explosive.
Yeah. Even though I want to say Lewa, but the potential to have Mbappe in that middle is what's making me say Mbappe on this. I think Mbappe would do really well, especially with the team that we picked out.
Yeah, I'm taking Mbappe to finish out my.
Now, this is the Madrid versus Barca or Barca versus Madrid best 11. If we open it up to the whole league, if you had to add one player, who would it be?
I don't think I'm taking anybody, honestly. You could argue for Oblak, but I'm still taking Courtois over
Okay.
him.
Okay.
You want to argue Nico Williams? I still this season I'm taking Rafinha.
Yeah. What about Julian Alvarez?
He's a killer, but yeah,
Killer, he's different
that's a
too, bro.
close one. That's a really good one.
Because what Julian Alvarez is doing with that, I mean, it's not a shitty team, but it's badly coached in my opinion. You know, it looks like a class player playing with just normal dudes.
Yeah, Julian is he's phenomenal.
Now imagine imagine putting him in a in a proper team. I still remember when Julian was at Manchester City. He wasn't a starter, but when he came off the bench, oh bro, like you can tell he was at that type of quality, that type of caliber of a player.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he's cracking my 11. I feel like after the Man City round, I feel like Mbappe just kicked it into another gear.
I agree. I agree. Like say he'd be our first sub, but
Really?
yeah, he'd be our first sub. But yeah, overall, I think that's a good lineup. Manny, any last words before we sign off, bro?
Just ready for this Clasico. Hopefully we bring another trophy in, but it's gonna be a tough one. May the best team win.
There you go. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Send it, share it to anybody that has some football knowledge from 0 to 100. Let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments down below what would be your La Liga, Barca, and Madrid. You know what? We'll open it up to starting 11. See you next video.